just want to testify to the goodness of God in my life. Today marks 20 years that I embarked on this journey of widowhood, and I just thought to myself that I need to do something. So, to testify to His goodness, I really don't want to sound too cliche. I really do want to try and communicate the faithfulness of God, the awesomeness of God. So each and every one of us have a testimony, and all of our testimonies are unique. They're unique because our histories, our backgrounds, our makeups are all unique, and the way we respond to any challenge in life or anything that is kind of like a running theme in our lives. Like for me, the running theme is widowhood. So the way that we respond to it is going to be unique for each and every one of us. So, like I'm saying, I want to testify to how faithful God has been. I know it does just sound like cliche that yes, He is the husband of the widow, a father to the fatherless. And it's something that we hear all the time, but I am really trying my best here this morning to communicate the fact that He is indeed faithful. He has indeed been a husband to me. You may think that the fact that I'm sitting here saying over 20 years He's been a husband to me and I have been happy, it might sound like, oh, maybe it's because of the kind of person that I am, that I can sit here and say that God has been good and that He's been a husband to me and all that. However, if you really get to know me, you will know that indeed God has been incredible. So, talking a little bit about me as a person, I think that I would have been the last person that you would have thought that could be happy for the last 20 years as a single woman. I am the girl that when I got my admission letter to university, the first thing I did was pray and fast regarding a relationship. And the reason why I prayed and fasted was because I just wanted to pray around the fact that I didn't want to get into any relationship that would distract me from my studies, and that if I did have to get into a relationship, that He had to be the one. I'm sharing this because I want you to understand, or I'm trying to communicate the fact that I'm the last person that you would think could live as a single woman for 20 years and be happy, if not for the hand of God, if not for the divine intervention, if not for His faithfulness, for Him being so incredible and so wise and, just being who He says He is in His word. So, secondly, you know how our background, growing up, our history, shapes us, and whichever environment you grew up in, it kind of gives you a perspective on marriage and, how you are interested in it. But regardless of the background, it could go either way. But what I'm trying to say is that for me, I was the person that, with my growing up environment, my response was, I want to have a lovely adult marriage life. And like I told you a moment ago, the first thing I did when I got my admission letter was to pray and fast for 2 weeks. So I'm hoping that that gives you an insight into the type of individual that I am. And for me to sit here this morning on the 21st of January 2022, 20 years to the date of me embarking on this journey of widowhood, and for me to sit here and to say that for the majority of those 20 years, I have been incredibly happy, and that is the hand of God. I'm not just saying this to make it sound sweet, to go in line with the scriptures, to go in line with that is supposed to happen, that is what you're supposed to say. I am trying my utmost best to communicate to you that our God is incredible, that for someone like me to sit here and say that I've been living as a single woman for 20 years, and for the majority of those 20 years, I have been happy. It can only be the hand of God. So I would like to share the fact that, interestingly, I met my husband on my very first day at uni, or I mean my late husband. I met him on the very first day of uni. So I'll share a bit more about that maybe later on, because I just put myself here this morning. I'm just coming from the gym, and I really had this pressing that I need to share the faithfulness of God on this 21st day of January 2022. And that's why I'm sitting here, and I really do not want to record for more than 8 to 10 minutes. But I just hope that the little that I've shared, that I've been able to communicate that our God is faithful. He has kept me for 20 years as a single woman. So when I lost my husband on January 21st, 2002, my son was 3 years and 10 months old, and my daughter was 10 months old. And I didn't see it coming. I never thought in my 20s that I was going to live for the next 20 years or more as a single woman. I would have never thought that, and neither would I have thought that I would have been happy. But here I am, relaying my story and really trying to communicate the fact that our God is able to do exceedingly abundantly, more than we can think or imagine. And I'm just looking forward to sharing some of the hurdles that I've jumped, and the hand of God, and how incredible He is. And you know, where He says He will never leave us nor forsake us, it's absolutely true. So thank you for listening to this very short testimony, and I look forward to sharing a bit more about the hand of God in my life. Thank you very much.